Hi there, Tualatin Library patrons and LEGO lovers. It's me, Blair Archer, here in the BRIX studio, once again to share with you some amazing LEGO techniques and building instructions so that you can build some super cool stuff in your very own home. Let's take a look inside the LEGO Idea Head and see what kind of awesome stuff we're going to be building today. Alright, we have a winner, and it's Spaceships! As many of you might know, I'm a big fan of spaceships. I know some of y'all out there are too, and we're going to have a great time today learning how to build some awesome spaceships. So let's hop over to the building desk here and hit the bricks. Alright, welcome over to the LEGO building desk, where we're going to talk about making some awesome LEGO spaceships. I've designed this micro scale spaceship that we're going to build together here today. On the right hand side here you'll see an assortment of pieces that we're going to use for our model today. If you want, you can pause the video and take a quick run over to your LEGO collection and start grabbing up some of these fairly common parts. We're going to need 3 of these cheese slopes. One of them should be transparent. The other 2 should be solid color. 1 of these wedge grill slopes in a solid color. A 1x2 by 2x2 bracket that overhangs 3 headlight bricks of the recessed stud style in a solid color. 3 1x1 plates, 2 in a solid color, 1 in a transparent color. If you can, make it match your other transparent 1x1 cheese slope, and that would be awesome. 3 jumper plates, 1x2 jumper plates. They can be whatever color you want. 2 1x1 round bricks. So cylinders will be important for the engines. And then 2 of this piece, which is like a 1x2 plate modified with this little slope in the front. So when we go about putting them together, let's take a look at the design here. We're going to flip it over so that we can see the bottom. So what we start with are 2 of the headlight bricks, and we're going to put them back to back like so. And then we take our bracket and we put it on top of those. So we'll do it like this, stick them together. Then we're going to come in with our 1x1 plates and put them on the side. Give me a tight fit there. Alright. I'm going to take our cylinders. I'm going to put those in the bottom. And on top of that, take this jumper plate, stick it on up there. Then we can flip it over. We're going to add another headlight brick on the front here. On top of that, we'll put our transparent 1x1 plate and the possibly, but doesn't have to be, matching transparent 1x1 cheese slope. On the back of the ship, we're going to put 2 of the jumper plates right next to each other, going across. And then on top of that, we're going to place this grilled slope. Finally, we do the wings. Stick these pieces on, like so, followed by our solid cheese slopes behind them to make a nice point. And there we have a great micro-scale spaceship design. Perfect for swooshing. And one of my favorite things about especially micro-scale spaceships is leaving a little spot on the bottom where you can connect a stand or a flight stick. You can take a piece and come in here, and now alright, now that we've learned how to build an awesome microscale spaceship, let's take a look at going up into the minifig scale and some of the parts that you might want to explore using as you build a minifigure compatible spaceship. Let's take a look first at some M-Tron classic spaceships from when I was a child, and how the older LEGO designs, while they have a very simple and straightforward approach, make some highly effective spaceships. As you can see, sets back in the early 90s didn't utilize a great number of parts, but the parts that they do use are very effectively placed. When you're thinking about a spaceship, especially a craft such as this that is designed to work inside atmosphere or near a planet's surface, aerodynamics, the ability for it to fly through an atmosphere, come into play, which is why it has these awesome wings. A lot of spaceship designs that we've seen throughout science fiction history have had wings so that they can move from inside the planet's atmosphere to the outside into outer space. Because without the wings, they can't generate lift. A spaceship in space doesn't necessarily need the wings because there isn't any air in space. So aerodynamics are not a part of the design for interstellar spacecraft necessarily. When we're looking at these older LEGO spaceships, they have a lot in common with a newer LEGO spaceship as well. Most notably, some sort of a cockpit or windshield that can open. LEGO windscreens come in many different varieties. So let's take a look at a couple different part assortments that you can use when crafting your own LEGO spaceships in minifigure scale. We'll set this guy down. So when we're talking about wings and windshields, those are some of the most iconic parts for spacecraft. Wings are usually made by using wedge plates like these. Newer wedge plates, as you can see, have these cutouts along the bottom so that you can stack them directly onto the LEGO surface. older wedge plates from the original spacecraft, as you can see, do not have those cutouts. These were designed to be used as wings or as the very bottommost element wherever they are placed, so that they can't stack directly on top of another plate that's not the exact same shape. And when you're working with wings, you can use multiple sizes and shapes to create different shapes to give your wing an exciting design. More than just a single wedge can allow you to create wings that look any way you want and operate with your spacecraft in a very realistic way. So you can take two wedge plates like that and you can actually combine them to create a whole new shape for a wing. As we said, the other important element is going to be the windscreen or windshield, something to cover your pilot as they navigate through space or around the surface of a planet. Keeps them protected from the elements. If they're wearing a space helmet, it can be an open-sided cockpit like these old Lego spacecraft did, or another one from the M-Tron series like this has a completely enclosed cockpit. Lego is all about the suspension of disbelief, or make-believe. Little pretend play does allow us to have some small gaps back here that we can just simply overlook. But for the most part, when we're looking at a spacecraft, it's probably a good idea to have something in front of those who are within it. Let's take a look at a couple different windscreens I brought over and see some variety. Most of the windscreens Lego works with nowadays run on a couple different systems. You can see on this older one, the hinge is this old finger hinge here, which worked really well, but they were rather fragile as these little pieces banged around in the Lego bins. So they've since upgraded, and now the two main kinds of connections for windscreens are going to be these clicky joints or a bar and clip connection. Bar and clip connections allow for a very smooth operation, and the clicky joints allow you to put your windshield in a series of locked positions. They come in a lot of different shapes and sizes. Here's another clicky hinge that's designed specifically for a lot of the windscreens, and it's a 1x4 plate or tile modified with these click hinges sticking up, and that allows us to operate these dome windscreens. And as you can see, the clip and bar version can be used with just about any kind of clip, and so many different windscreens are available in that system. I mean, the shapes are almost limitless. Benny's Space Squad set was loosely based on a lot of our classic and 90s space designs, with a very simple assortment of pieces to create a basic rover and a small basic spacecraft. When you look at the pieces you find inside a set like that, you see that we come across a lot of the same parts that we've been talking about. Wedge plates for wings. They can go this way, they can go this way. In this set, they have one of these lovely old school space seats, which they pop on there to create a spot for the little pilot. And of course, this fantastic decorated front slope with the classic space emblem on it. And really, once you get a basic shape like this going, you can do just about anything to make it feel like a little spaceship. You can add a little mini windscreen, and you can slap a dish on the back, and you're already rolling in how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces? That reads as a spaceship pretty instantaneously. This set, of course, includes a whole bunch of fun little pieces that you can use that we like to call greebles. It's a term for sort of nonsensical science fiction texturing that you can add to your models to create a sense of wonder and technical sophistication, even though it's just implied that they don't necessarily have a specific function, but they just look really cool. Before we leave the building desk, I wanted to do a quick flyby of a microscale spaceship I built not too long ago. This spaceship was built for a contest that had what was called a seed part. The seed part in this case was the minifigure leg. So I built this interstellar shipping container transport, and I used the minifigure legs to imply different kinds of cargo on the sides of the ship. Well, that was an amazing journey in building our own awesome microscale Lego spacecraft and learning about some of the amazing parts that you can use to build your own Lego spaceships at home, whether in microscale or minifigure scale. Speaking of minifigure scale, let's take a look at a little doodle here. This is what my classic space skiff ended up looking like based off the parts out of the Benny Space Squad set. You can see I've added a couple other exciting elements down here. Some different rocket booster engines from my own collection that'll help it look like it makes it go really, really fast. Let's grab Mini Me up here. See what it looks like. Oop, there goes my popsicle. Here we go, blasting off. Well, like my minifig version of myself, it's about time for me to blast off as well. So thanks again for joining me here in the BRIX studio. You can always find more information and or share your creations with us at BRIX, BRIX, EDU on Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to see some of the amazing creations that you make at home, whether it's a recreation of the model I built today or your very own take on an awesome Lego spacecraft. I can't wait to see you again here very soon. And until next time, play well. Thanks for joining me. Bye!